So to start a little bit, I'll say relaxed. How is your morning? How is your day? What plans do you have for today?
For today, I have only like plans for resting because I have like 4 days in La Paz without motorbike. I think this is the longest break during my travel. Yesterday, I did some trip with the teleférico and in the cemetery. Maybe today I would like to go to the Coca Museum, but only a small walk around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chill days.
I need to rest.
So tell me a little bit, how is your trip? Tell us, how are you traveling and from where and where to?
Okay, so I travel with motorbike. I'm from Poland. I started my trip in Santiago de Chile. Then I went south to Patagonia, crossed the border with Argentina, reached the end of the world, Ushuaia, of course, and then went north through some Argentina, then San Pedro de Atacama, the desert Atacama in Chile. And then I crossed border to Bolivia, and that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. And in Bolivia, where are you continuing from here?
On Friday morning, I go from Bolivia through Titicaca to La Paz. No, not La Paz. We are in La Paz, actually, to Machu Picchu, to the Cusco. It's my next destination.
And then where is the finish line on this trip?
It depends, because I finished my trip in Santiago because I have already arranged the flight and the transport of my motorbike, because motorbike is from Poland. It's my own motorbike. I shipped it via ferry. And it depends on the weather, because now it's like starting the rainy weather here in this part on the Latin America. So if it will be cold and I will be wet all the time, probably I will turn around slowly from Cusco towards Santiago.
But do you travel, now when you're traveling on your motorbike, do you travel with a tent, or do you always stay in like hostel or hotel?
If I have my tent, I have my own camping gear, everything. I have everything, even like a kitchen, even like a seat. So I do camping also, but lately I use a hotel or hostels.
Because of the weather mostly?
Because of the weather and of the being tired a little bit.
So when you travel, for example, do you have every day plan that today you start and you have to reach to a certain point?
No.
Or it's if you see something during the way, you just stop?
Yeah, it's like the random. I have like maybe the schedule, but it's like a draft. I know where to go, but not exactly the routes. I usually change the roads, depends on the weather, especially Argentina, strong winds, so I change the routes. I don't book hotels. I book hotels like 1 hour before going sleep, 2 hours before going sleep. So it's like, it's more safe and better for going to adventure.
It's a real adventure. Yeah. And how long time is more or less the whole trip?
The whole trip is 110 days. So it's like almost 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
And how long time did you plan this trip?
A little bit, half of the year, I think. But I traveled for 13 years on motorbike. I visited like almost 40 countries. So I have some experience with that. So I think like half year it was like chill, but not everyday planning. Yeah, it was like 1 day per week. But
you have the knowledge, and you know, for example, if your motorbike break down.
Yeah, I have all tools. I have some spare parts. I'm also like a mechanic engineer, so I can fix the bike, I hope. But
have you ever reached a point where you have not been able to fix it?
No, I didn't have such situation. So sometimes
it's always the same bike during these years, or you change?
No, not really. I changed bike. In my life, I had like 5 bikes in total, but I did like 250,000 kilometers in total on motorbikes.
And what brand is it? What kind of bike is it? We have to go out and take a picture of the bike.
This is the Honda Transalp XL750. 750, see?
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. It's a new bike. It's 2023 year of the production. I ride with Honda because I think it's the durability of this bike is the best on the world. So that's why I choose Honda. It's Japan. Yeah.
So during the whole way when you are traveling, it's a lot of different landscapes. How has the Bolivian landscape and the Bolivian roads been?
It's pretty nice, but to be honest with you, in Bolivia I chose the tarmac roads, not like off-roads, but like 100 kilometers I did like off-road, but for the safety and for the rain, for the cold, I choose the tarmac roads. I found it like
the dust roads or the asphalt?
The asphalt, but sometimes also the dust. Yeah, but I'm really careful with that because like this is the end of it's going to be near the end of the trip, so I need to be like careful and finish it safe.
To finish good.
Yeah, and because of the tiredness, I don't want to make some mistakes, etc.
And when you arrived, from what border did you come into Bolivia?
I don't know exactly the name, but I crossed the border from Argentina close to the Tupiza city. It was 100 kilometers south from Tupiza.
Yeah, so then when you arrived, you started to go up on the altitude.
But in Chile and Argentina, I also did some passes, off-road passes, like 4,800 meters. But to be honest with you, I fight with the altitude disease. Yeah, I feel dizzy sometimes. So.
And how does the motorbike feel? You feel the motorbike gets slower?
No, it's because it's like brand new. It's like electronic injection, so there is no problem. The computer adjusts the amount of gasoline, etc. So it's
goes more the rider than it's the one that is affected.
Yeah, really.
And how do you handle it? The altitude.
Sometimes I just I'm like very careful, so I spend because I have like altitude meter. I don't know how it's said, but I see the altitude on my screen. So if I see I climbed, so I stop sometimes. So if I see I climbed today like 500 meters, so okay, this is the time for take a night here. So
because not all the time you feel it when you're on the bike, so you can go through pretty.
Yeah. For example, I did some pass from Argentina to Chile. I started on 2,000 meters, and the top of the pass was near 5,000.
Oh, that's
so it was a lot. It's like 3 kilometers going up. Yeah. So, but I have some medicines with me. I have like medicine for the blood. I don't know how to say it, but it's
make it. Yeah,
it's for those medicines are for the altitude disease. It's called Duramid, I think. I brought it from Poland.
And you have then on your motorbike, you have the meter or like to meet the altitude.
Yeah.
And how do you have a GPS?
Yes. I have Google. I have 2 smartphones and 1 GPS Garmin, and also very like small tool. With GPS signal, and what's nice, this small tool is for the safety, because here in Latin America, it's very usually that you don't have signal, GSM signal. So this device works every time with the satellite, and my family receive my signal every 30 minutes automatically. Yes, and if I have trouble or something, I can send SOS emergency signal to some emergency departments to help.
You are very set in the safety. And
it's the most important. Yeah, of course, safety first.
Safety first. And when you, for example, when you choose to camp on the road, how do you choose a safe place? What do you have? What kind of conditions do you have to decide? Okay, here's good, here's not good.
If I do wild camping, it's very nice to be hidden, that nobody can see you. But if you sleep, for example, and the car goes, you never know who goes, and maybe he would like to stop and disturb you or something. So for the safety, it's better to hide. But on small, like when I do camping on like camping sites, so it doesn't matter because like safe area. So
in general, along this road that you're explaining, I think you have actually a lot of camping spots. Maybe a little bit less in Bolivia, but Argentina and Chile has.
Yes, and I also use the like camping spots. You means like official?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A lot of. So it's in Chile and Argentina. It's very common and very cheap in comparison to hostels or hotel.
And how many wild campings have you done so far?
I don't know. It's 5 to 10, I think. Yeah. So I think it would be more. But to be honest with you, I started my trip with my girlfriend on 2 motorbikes. But she had a small accident in Argentina, and she broke her hand, the wrist, and she flew back to Poland for the surgery. And we decided together that I will continue the journey alone. And also for the safety and according to those circumstances, I decided to be more and more careful. Yeah, that's why.
Which is good in general, because what I would guess is one of the maybe most dangerous things is the traffic in all these countries, because people drive a little bit fast. It's not that you have a lot of space. But your kind of way of doing it is to always go slow.
Yeah, I do like maximum speed is like 100, but if the conditions are good. But mostly it's like 70, 80 on asphalt routes. So it's like calm. Very calm.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And your impression so far of Bolivia? How is Bolivia?
To be honest with you, I spent like 1 month in Chile, 1 month in Argentina, plus minus. And then I entered Bolivia. And in the first day, I felt that this city is better than the previous one. So
La Paz.
No, like the Tupiza.
The Tupiza.
Yeah.
You like Tupiza?
Yeah, I like whole Bolivia. But the first day in Bolivia, in my opinion, was better than 2 months.
Really?
In comparison than Argentina and Chile.
And why?
I met the culture, like the women outfits, the choritas, it's colorful, it's like the traditional, it's so perfect. People are like more nice, I think, like more smile, more like you see life in Bolivia, yeah? And in Chile, in Argentina, I seen like the business, more business than life. A lot of people travel to those countries, and it's like more capital, I think. Capitalistic, but I think, yeah. So when I met Bolivia, I was, this is what I'm looking in adventure, yeah. And then, So I feel like for 2 weeks maybe right now, and to be honest with you, I miss that I live this country, yeah. So that's, and to be honest with you, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to Chile or Argentina to explore more, but I want to go back to Bolivia.
To Bolivia, that's a very nice view. Yeah. And what did you see so far here in Bolivia?
I seen like a few cities because I went from Tupiza to Uyuni, so I seen the Salar, the salt lake.
In the salt flat, you like with your motorbike?
No, because of my safety and safety of my motorbike, I quit this idea because the salt go everywhere and you can destroy your electronic. And also it's danger. I discovered it's danger because it's not flat really. There are holes, there are craters, so it's danger in my opinion for motorbike. So I did like some trip with some travel organization or something.
With the Jeep?
Yeah, with the Jeep. I paid for a full day of entire land, and it was very, very fun.
Yeah. And from Salar, then you came directly here to La Paz?
No. This is it was the first idea, but because of that, I like Bolivia so much. I decided not to go directly to the La Paz because I would make my adventure through Bolivia shorter. I didn't want that. So from Uyuni, I went to, I think it's Potosi. And then I went to the Sucre, from Sucre to Cochabamba, I think, and from Cochabamba to Oruro, and then La Paz. And during this small trip, I discovered that Sucre is like capital of the Bolivia. I didn't know that. It's obviously like I have heard that the Bolivia has 2 capitals, but like the Sucre is the first. So it's for me it's amazing.
It's like a small town.
Yeah, and it is different because like I discovered that every city I visit in Bolivia was like red material of the buildings. I don't know how you called it, but Sucre is white.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I discovered it beautiful. It's different.
And there you just went to the town or the city, or you went out to explore things in Potosi and Sucre, or was it more to stop and walk around and you continue? Just walk around,
yeah. After I find some hotel or something, I just take a shower, change my clothes, or go into the city.
And explore. And eat.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what food have you been trying here in Bolivia?
In Bolivia. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if I ate some like traditional food. Maybe like small potatoes in some salads. It's like sweet small potatoes. We don't have it in Poland, so it's also nice. In your restaurant here in a hotel, I ate some vegetables bowl. It was very, very delicious. I think it was like vegetables from common in Bolivia. And I also like tried some street food, and I discovered it very cheap. So when it's very, very cheap.
You can find, I would say, which is very nice, that everything from cheap street food to very exclusive restaurants.
Everything
exactly. All flavors. Exactly. You have like 2 more days here, so you still have the chance to. We'll give you some tips of more street food and traditional.
Perfect. Nice. Very nice.
So another question, how do you feel like in general that a trip like this is changing you as a person?
After every big trip to the different countries, different continents, it changed always myself. Because also in this beauty, we can also the poor of such countries, especially in small villages. And after like those views, I admire more my life. So it's changed myself inside for sure.
When you come back, that you see your life.
I always say to me, I'm so lucky. I'm lucky to travel. I'm lucky to live in good conditions. So it's always good to think about that.
And when you come home after a trip in general, do you already right now, let's say, start to plan your next trip? Or do you just feel like, okay, I'm home, I will stay home? Or is the new trips already started to take?
In the past, it was like this. I was thinking about new trips all the time. But now I make my trip longer. Like 4 months trip is like big trip. Also, I work like a normal employee. So it's hard always to get for a 4 months vacation. And so it's a good vacation. So in this case, now I don't think about new trips. I know it will happen for sure somewhere, of course, on motorbike, because I live to travel on motorbike. But even during the trip, I change the new destinations in my mind. Because, for example, when I come to the Chile, for example, I think, okay, next time I would like to go to Africa, for example. But then I reached Bolivia, and I think, this nice country. I want to go back to Bolivia. So I don't know what will be the next trip, because in every day it can change a lot. So I have time.
Depends where you go and where you.
Exactly. Adventure changes you. So you're deciding the travel.
That's beautiful. That's really nice. And another question. Then, for example, when you cross the borders with your motorbike that is from Poland, how does that work with papers?
It's pretty easy. I think it's easier than borrow a motorbike here, because I am the owner. So my name is in the papers of the motorbike. So nobody asks questions. And also they have experience with that. So this is the only thing they give me, like temporary imports to the country for my motorbike. So it takes a little bit longer than for like Latin America people, but it's pretty easy here. It was much worse in the Middle East.
How long? How long time did it take from Poland to send it here to Chile?
It took like 1 month around. But I took a ferry for my motorbike. This is the cheapest way to transport a motorbike. Of course, you can do it with the aeroplane, but it's twice more expensive.
And how much is it more or less to send a motorbike?
It's around $3,000 both way.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Like a plane ticket.
Yeah.
Around the plane ticket, a little bit longer time.
Yeah.
And if there are people listening that feels that they want to do the same kind of trip like you are doing, what can you recommend them? How to plan and what things to think about.
You don't have to plan. It's like go and enjoy and don't worry. Like if you are good people, you meet new good people, and life goes on. So it's easier than you think. But
okay, I think that's an amazing tip. But is it anything that if you feel that maybe you have never been out traveling, maybe you are sitting home and it feels like it's such a big thing to plan everything out, what is maybe the first thing that you should kind of think of? Is it to kind of buy the motorbike and do all the paperwork, or where should you start?
I think that big travel is not good for beginning for the motorbike, because it's not like riding a car. It's more difficult, more danger. You can make more mistakes. and you can easily die. So if you buy a motorbike, just make some small trips around, like weekend trips or 1 week trips to become like acquainted with your motorbike, with your skills, make some trainings, and then like pack your stuff and go, of course. And if you go to the foreign countries, don't worry that you don't know the language, because it's, in my opinion, it's easy to communicate everywhere. So even if you don't know, like...
Do you speak Spanish?
Not really, but now I know like maybe 100 words, maybe 150. I learn in travel. So I think I can fix everything around me in Spanish, but I called it like not speaking, it's like hashtags. So
words.
Yeah, words. So I can, let's say like full sentences, like say words. But I think it's good beginning. Yeah.
Super good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And to end this, do you have any kind of, what has been your favorite moment, some cool stories that has been happen during this trip that you want to share with us?
During this trip? To be honest with you, I found La Paz like a very, very interesting city. I think it's like one of my favorites. I think top 2. So I discovered that Teleférico is so nice. I have never seen such the public transport in any city on the world. So it's amazed me. So that's very nice. Yeah.
That's one of the top.
Yeah, one of the top for sure. But to be honest with you, because I only like two weeks in Bolivia, during my trips for the Balkans, Europe or Middle East, I found like they have like more, I don't know how to say it, interaction with local people. Here is in Chile and Argentina, I didn't have like the interaction with local people. I don't know why, it's different. I also like thinking about that in my mind.
But do you feel you have more interaction here?
In Bolivia? Yes, a little bit yes than the Argentina and Chile. Yeah, for sure. So it's also nice. It also like amazed me because I miss that I always said if you travel alone, you are never alone because people are around you. They ask, they help, they are interested. But in Chile and Argentina, I didn't find that. So no, it was like, not really. But when I entered Bolivia, it was more like this. So even I have some 2 videos that I had recording something on my YouTube channel, and somebody asked me, "Oh, where are you from? How are you?" Yeah, so that's also very nice. Yeah.
That's a little bit, it's Bolivian, right? They come up and ask questions. How much do you calculate if I might ask you this trip 2 months? 3. What do you say? 3 and
near 4. Near 4.
3.5 a little bit.
Yeah.
How much is your budget more or less? Are you counting as you're going on like low budget kind of trip, or?
It depends. Of course, I'm not like a very rich person or something like that. So of course I calculate. I have my budget. Also, I discovered that Latin America is very expensive. Maybe not here in Bolivia. It's quite not expensive, but Argentina is the most expensive country I have ever visited. So I decided something like this. If I sleep in a tent, I eat in a restaurant. If I sleep in a hotel, I cook by myself. So it's like a good ratio of that. Mm-hmm. But to be honest with you, I have like app. I write every expenses in my app. And for now, my daily expenses is average $75. It's
with gas, with
food, with hotels, with some. I bought some sunglasses. I bought some tickets for the entirement. Mm-hmm. I exchanged my engine oil in my motorbike, so it includes everything. So I think it's not a small amount of money, but it's good in my opinion. Traveling with your own motorbike.
Because you're reaching very big parts also of America.
Yeah. So I think it's quite nice. But I discover, my budget is over today. So tomorrow I spend less money. Yeah, it's like this.
Today it went over.
Yes, because I have like statistics in the application. I strongly recommend this app is called Travel Spend. It's very easy. It's easier than counting your calories in some application on diet.
That's good. At least instead of writing down and you just do it in the moment, and then you have.
Yeah, just moment. There are like a lot of categories. It's very easy. It calculates statistics by itself. So it's very nice.
We'll check into that one. But thank you so much. It was really nice to hear your story. And we will give you some tips what you can do this last
Thank you so
day. Thank you so much.
Very nice. It was really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it was very nice to hear your
Thank you so much.